Hey everybody, how you doing? So I was talking to my dad this morning, and he was talking to me, just like asking me about therapy and stuff like that. And it's like, if you do you really want to do all of this? And like, he really asked me what did I want out of it, and he told me to write down a few things that I'd want for therapy and just to work on and improve. So my first thing is to be able to talk, just like talk to people without feeling some kind like, of course I'm going to feel some kind of pressure, but I also just want to feel comfortable saying what I want to say without looking for some kind of response. Like, for a lot of my conversations, I shoot out jokes that don't really land, right? Or, maybe my sense of humor is kind of stupid, whatever it is. I focus a lot on the people who I talk to. And, I want their positive reaction. And I feel like I should be saying things for me, maybe be more self-oriented. I don't know. It's weird because I don't know the difference between arrogance and confidence. I feel like they almost mix, because if someone's doing something for themselves and, I don't know why, I'm going to think it's arrogance or something like that. Sorry for being very monotone, but another thing is I just don't want to feel like a burden to people. Not, that's all about a mindset thing. I don't, I hopefully don't like actually burden people, but I just want to be able to, feel respected and feel like what I'm saying is worth it. Because, the people I've been hanging out with right now are always on their phone. They're always, I'm always buying them something, or, we're always half talking. Like, we talk, or it's like, they bring up past experiences of, things that I've done. It's stuff like that. It just kind of drives me nuts a little bit, It's again, taking criticism, I guess, is hard for me. Because, I'm not used to getting a lot of criticism. And of course, that's just like a childish thing I have to work on and hopefully get over. Because if I'm out in the real world going like, oh, I want to do a job interview, and they're like, you didn't do very well or something. Like, not that they'd ever say that, but in the hypothetical way that they did, I wouldn't take it very well. I take everything as a personal assault. I take everything like it's a shot through the heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And, another thing I want to do is just start enjoying things again. Just one of the things that the therapist brought up. I met with her with my mom a while back, not even like 2 days ago, and she said she's talked a lot about the P word. She talked a lot about that, and was like, you can't be doing that. She brought up some kind of outlandish. Now, it's like, yeah, porn's bad. Porn's bad. Yeah, it's addictive. It's bad. It makes everything around you feel like shit. It's not something that I feel is normal. I mean, I guess it's kind of normal at my age, but also it's something that people get addicted to really easily. So, I don't really, I know all this shit because I've lived through it, and, I want to stop it, Like, porn has been a battle of mine for a long time, and I've tried really hard to make sure it doesn't become some kind of addictive habit. And it has. So, she told me to have a bucket of ice water that whenever I feel like, jerking it, she's like, don't fill up this big bowl with water and ice and then dunk your head in it or have a cold shower. And it's like, I get where you're coming from, but it's really not that big of an issue for me. And I get teenagers at my age really struggle with this shit. Like, there's some people who I heard can't even go 3 days without doing it. And I get that, I've been there. But really, porn is not a big issue in my life. It's not something I turn to when I'm sad. Usually. Like, really, I only ever do it when I feel lonely. And that kind of brings me to my next point, is probably getting a girlfriend. I'm not very good with the ladies. I'm actually rather scared of them. I'm just admitting it. But, I might as well be truthful to the camera, because why would I lie? That's something that's very true in our household that you very seldom lie. Because when you do, how can you trust that person and know that they're not lying already? I don't know. It's just you lie to me? Like, can I ever trust you again? You know? Like, yeah, you could be saying, why don't you give him a second chance? Like, you have a fair point there, but also, I don't want to do that. If you lie to me to my face, you know, because I'm all about the truth. I'm all about being honest. And like my friend was extremely surprised when I told my therapist, who was like, yeah, who I just met, because the topic came up, and I was like, yeah, I watch porn sometimes. That's it. Like all teenagers do. This is not an insane idea. But he said that he would, at no matter what time, he'd say that he would not. He'd be the special one in a million who doesn't look at porn. Like, yeah, sure, buddy, sure, buddy, sure. Your parents have been in the exact same situation as you have, but we have it so much better. Your parents know what you're going through because they've gone through it. Anyway, I specifically say on this fourth point that getting a girlfriend. I've heard that you need to be accepting of yourself before you can start accepting other people into your life, which I guess is kind of true. But then, like, I don't know how to accept myself. I think my dad says I have too much free time. Maybe that's true. Then again, I don't know. But I say at the end of this is that who I won't run from, because in all my past relationships, I've been a pussy, extreme pussy. This girl back then told me I was cute. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's just great. I'm feeling flippin' awesome. And what happened was, the next day I saw her, and I was terrified for some reason. And I didn't have this feeling before, right? I feel like it was weird. Like I had this irrational fear almost. Not like I was, yeah, I felt really tense and nervous and scared and like I was doing something wrong. And I just ran. Like, yeah, this is just something that I need to go through to grow up. But also, it was kind of my last chance for it. At that time, like, that's the last relationship I've had, and that was like 2 years ago. And legitimately, it feels kind of shitty. But, I'm not blaming anybody, I'm blaming myself. Because ultimately, as Mark Manson says, you're 100% responsible for everything that happens in your life. For not what happens, but how you take it. Like today I could have talked to 20 girls. I didn't. Why? Like that option is always there, so you always have some kind of control. My last one is just trying to be a better person. I feel like I'm always doing something wrong. I'm a kid. I don't know all that much. Ultimately, all I want at the end of the day is to make people happy. And, I don't really know how to do that very well. That's what I want to work on. It's just focusing on other people, making them happy instead of trying to make myself happy. And then, maybe it'll be a vice versa effect or whatever, where it's like, I make someone happy, that makes me feel happy. So, something like that. I don't know. All I want is to make people happy. I've always loved helping people, but, I'm never really give myself that option to help people. Or like maybe I'm not smart enough to see the situations around me, to know when to help people. I know this is just one big ramble, but I don't know. These are the 5 things I want out of therapy. Just to, I guess, to recap, number 1 is to be able to talk to anyone and take criticism, because I'm bad at taking criticism. Second one is to feel like I'm not a burden on people and have a better mindset and better self-talk. The third one is enjoying things again without shame. Because, real quickly, the therapist brought up video games because her husband plays video games a lot. And, I thought that was kind of interesting, because I thought at some point you had to grow out of video games, even though, yeah, they're a hobby. For me personally, I think this is just like a kid thing. And, no offense towards video games. I love video games, but, it's something I'm a little bit shameful of. Because ultimately I could be doing other things, bettering my health. I haven't been in the gym for like the past week. Anyway, number 4. Okay, number 3, I'm going to reread it again. Enjoying things again without shame. Number 4 is getting a girlfriend that I won't run from and who will accept me for me. And I need to accept myself for that to happen. So, number 5 is just being more charismatic and coming off better. You know, I have a very certain set of tastes in people. And, you know, I like some maybe not unusual things, but things that are kind of looked down upon. Like, you know, I like to watch YouTube during school. Like, I like to listen to stuff while I work. And there would be times, I remember today, I was talking to a guy, and I was just sitting there working, and he peeked over, and I felt like he was almost judging me for this video that I was watching. It was like, it was just like this clips channel of like this streamer that I like to watch. And it really kind of made me feel embarrassed for even liking it in the first place. And like, then you could also say, why would you need to feel that way? It's because, I don't know, the whole high school thing of feeling like you have to be in a group, you have to be this, XYZ, ABC, you know, all these things. You feel like you have to live up to people. You have to make sure you're not quote unquote weird. Like it's hell in high school. High school sucks. So that's what I want out of therapy. This video is kind of long. So thank you for listening to me ramble, if you even make it this far. And if you do, God bless you. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.